Denver's Lizzie Tabor, also known as Baby Doe, was the second wife of pioneer Colorado businessman Horace Tabor. Lizzie, as a young woman in the 1870s, defied convention and enjoyed the wealthy side of life. Donna Bear Stein, author of The Silver Baron's Wife, is a book that walks us through this life of a fiercely independent woman who found herself in a scandalous love triangle, only to finish life in isolation. Donna is resurrecting the life of Lizzie, and the history is not forgotten about the lady who at one time was known as the best dressed woman in the West.
Yes.
Good to see you.
And also by some as the most hated woman in the West.
Ooh,
so
gosh, I can't wait to get into that story. But how did you first learn about Lizzie Tabor, Baby Doe, and decide, I need to do something about it?
Well, my parents brought me here to Colorado for many of our summer vacations, and we traveled here to Denver and Central City and Leadville. And I remember purchasing 2 postcards of Lizzie Tabor, one dressed in a very elegant ermine coat, right, and one dressed much later in her life in this picture right here, where she's standing in front of the one-room shack at the Matchless Mine, where she spent the last 30 years of her life. And I truly was curious how she got from point A to point B.
So that's what interested you about Baby Doe's life?
Yes.
Okay, got it. What was the research process like for this novel?
I came out to Colorado several times, went to the Matchless Mine many times, Denver Public Library, Leadville Lake County Library. I did a lot of reading of books by John Vernon, Judy Nolte Temple, some nonfiction books about her. There's also an American opera about Baby Doe Tabor called The Ballad of Baby Doe. Yeah. I saw that at the Kennedy Center. There's a wealth of resources. I photocopied many of the thousands of dreams that she wrote that are in now they're in the Historic Colorado Center.
It sounds like you had a great time.
Oh,
actually,
I did. I've been obsessed with her for a number of years.
Would you mind reading a passage from your book?
No, I would love to. And since we're in Denver, I thought I would read a little bit when Lizzie's second husband, as you mentioned, was Horace Tabor, who was a very wealthy silver baron. He was worth about $23 million in the late 1800s,
wow,
which translates to nearly $500 million today. So he's very rich. She and Horace were married at the Willard Hotel in Washington, D.C. President Chester Arthur attended. When they returned to Denver, they moved into a house that Horace had built for them. So on our return to Denver, we moved into the house Horace had built at the corner of Sherman Avenue and 13th Street on 3 acres of rolling lawn. 6 fountains ran clear water continuously, and 100 peacocks roamed amidst life-size marble nudes and cast-iron sculptures shipped from Italy. 2 dogs, a deer, a white fox with green glass eyes. 2 long driveways approached the house, but not a single neighbor drove up in their carriage to welcome us. The editor of the Rocky Mountain News had railed against the Colorado magnate who threw his wife over for the embraces and smiles of a tawdry, painted courtesan. I was humiliated, and there was much more humiliation to come.
So she had a tough time.
She did have a tough time, and she was really ignored. President Chester Arthur's male members of his cabinet came, but none of their wives attended because the 2 people getting married, Horace and Lizzie, were both divorced. And many of the books and the opera focused on her role as a mistress in the most scandalous love scandal in the West. And I really wanted to tell her story from her point of view.
Well, I can't wait to read the book, and they have an opportunity to meet you tomorrow night,
yes,
7 p.m., Tattered Cover Colfax.
Yes.
Why do you think everyone should come read your book and learn more about Baby Doe's story?
Well, I think the contrast in her life between poverty and wealth, I think her story is a great reminder that we can accumulate great wealth very quickly, but we can also lose it and life continues. I think her search for spirituality is fascinating. She was raised Catholic but divorced and excommunicated, but in her dreams, she often saw Jesus and Mary and members of her own family, and there are some theologians who think that she may have been an American female mystic, in fact.
Ooh.
Other people think she was crazy.
Interesting.
And I don't know the answer. Yeah,
Well,
it's fascinating. And the politics of the era, the gold versus silver standard, women's suffragette movement, all of that is in this story, in her
Donna,
story.
thank you very much. I really
Thank you.
appreciate you giving us a sneak peek of the book. I can't wait to read it. Donna will be at the Tattered Cover on Colfax tomorrow, January 25th, 7 p.m. She'll be signing copies of The Silver Baron's Wife, so be sure to purchase your copy. And, of course, meet Donna tomorrow night. You can visit her online. Her web address is donnabearstein.com.